Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you some more poured silver from my poured silver collection. But first of all, I wanted to say thanks to everyone that watched my last couple of videos where I made this little prospector project. I glued a 1 gram button of gold into his pan, and then I also super glued some stone chippings around the edge, almost like sand around the edge of his feet, just to make it look more realistic. I'm not a big fan of things that don't stand up on their own. I do like them just to kind of stand up on their own, and that's why I like the idea of covering up the base, so it's almost like the base isn't there and he's just standing up. That's why I really like picking up these silver animals, because they haven't got any base or anything, they literally just stand up. I actually picked these up from eBay a while back now. They're all hallmarked, and these actually just stand on their own 2 feet, or in this case their own 4 feet. This is a little fox here. Absolutely stunning piece. Again, it's hallmarked. I believe these are actually sterling silver, so 92.50% silver, as opposed to this piece here, which is 3/9 fine. But I really like the fact they just stand up and they haven't got a silver base, so that's the reason why I ended up covering the base of this, just so when it stands there it looks a little bit more realistic. But yeah, really stunning piece. Now, for those of you that commented, and there wasn't many people that commented, but some of the people commented saying that I should have left it how it was, I shouldn't have super glued it, I should have maybe used PVC glue so that I could have the option of removing this and maybe just put some different base instead of like making it so permanent. But I do actually have another one of these in my collection, and that is the reason I decided to go all out with this one and make this into a bit of a background showpiece that I can keep on the back of my backdrops. And then the one that I've got in my deep storage, the other one of these that I have, because I believe there was only 500 of these minted, so that's why I picked up 2 when I first saw them, because I thought they looked so good. And like I said, I've still got one that is pristine in my deep stack that hasn't got anything done to it. And then I thought this one would be quite cool to make into a bit of a background piece that I can keep as a permanent piece in the back of my videos. Now, I'm actually going to leave it on here for now, just because some of this sand is still coming off. So once all the kind of excess has come off, I have actually rinsed it under the water and kind of rubbed it down, but there is still little bits of sand that aren't super glued that are kind of in between the other bits that keep falling off. So I'm going to leave it on there for the next kind of few videos, just so I don't get sand everywhere in my backdrop. And then eventually the only sand that will be left will be the sand that's actually super glued properly down. So yeah, I thought that's a cool piece. So again, like I said, thanks very much for everyone that followed that little project along. I quite enjoyed putting that together. Sometimes it's nice to just do something a little bit different on the channel. My channel from the start has always been a kind of light-hearted channel. It's a way of documenting my journey, and I don't like to be one of these channels that are always talking doom and gloom. And I know that those are the videos that get the views. If I was to do kind of negative thumbnails with fire and red arrows going down, and with titles like bad news, silver is going to zero, and things like that, they're the videos that get the views. People for some reason enjoy watching negative news. But I accepted that, and I wanted to do things a little bit different. And I wanted to just kind of showcase my journey and make it a little bit more fun, a little bit light-hearted, because stacking precious metals, although the concept behind it is a serious one, the reason we're putting our hard-earned cash into precious metals is to preserve wealth. You're preserving your wealth for potentially future generations if you decide to hand them on to your children. So it is a very serious topic, as is all investing. Whenever you're putting your hard-earned cash, that you're converting your time into money and you're putting that money into stuff, it is very important that you're making sensible investment decisions, because you don't want to just see your money disappear into thin air when you're working so hard for it. But at the same time, it is important to have fun. And that is, like I said, why I decided to make this channel more of an entertainment channel, as opposed to a finance and always trying to give you advice and things like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm the same as most of you that are watching today's video, I'm just someone that discovered stacking and enjoyed it and found a way of converting my fiat currency into something that holds value long term, instead of just spending it on things that go down in value, instead of just buying a new jacket or a new pair of jeans or some new trainers that in a year or two time will be worth nothing, essentially, as opposed to buying something like this that, yes, like I said before, poured silver is high premium, but it will always have some sort of value. Even if I was to scrap this back for its scrap weight, there is still value there. Even if I was to prize that bit of gold off, that is a 1 gram piece of gold, which is trading for around about £65, I think, a gram, a spot price, I believe. And then there's about an ounce here in silver, which is trading around £23, £22 an ounce. So at the very, very least, you have some value left in there. Whereas if I was just to buy an ornament, for example, you're obviously not going to have that store of wealth like you do when you're converting your fiat into a precious metal. So yeah, that's that kind of disclaimer bit out of the way. That's the reason why I like to do things a little bit different on this channel. I don't like it to be so serious all the time. You will see videos here and there where I talk about serious things like bank closures and fractional reserve banking and inflation and things like that, because it is, like I said, a very important that we do discuss some of those topics as well. But at the same time, the majority of my videos are just kind of light-hearted, fun videos to keep stacking fresh and interesting. Now let's get straight into it. I've actually managed to find a little bit of a cloth that I've put over the pieces now so that you can't see them straight away. This is actually all the COAs in here, so we'll go through this in a future video. This is all the COAs that I've saved up from every piece that is in my poured silver collection, and I keep them all separate in this folder. But yeah, we're going to peel back a little bit of this now to release the next 3 pieces. Let's just shuffle this over this side a little bit so we've got a little bit more space. And the next 3 pieces that we're going to showcase in today's video is that piece there, that piece there, and that piece there. So flop that back down. Let's close that again. I'm actually going to move this out the way so we have a little bit more room. Okay, so let's pop these on here like that. And then let's have a little look at these pieces. I'm going to zoom in because I think it works better when I zoom in on these pieces so you can see the detail better. Right, so these are the next 3 pieces in my poured silver stack. Eventually at the end of this series, I will do a video where I showcase everything in one go, and it will be like a sort of 30-minute long video. But for now, I'm trying to keep these videos around about the 10-minute mark, just slightly over, just showcasing 3 pieces at a time. So let's go straight into it. This is the very first piece. This is from, again, Liquid Metals UK. They make some stunning pieces. It's called the Steampunk Cog. 3 nines fine silver, 1.2 troy ounces. And I just thought it was really interesting, really cool. I like the fact that it's got this kind of smooth centre bit. And then you've got, like, obviously the cog bit on the outside. There's a lot of work that has gone into this piece. I really like all these skeletons around the edge as well. It really has got that punk vibe, hence the reason it's called Steampunk Cog. But yeah, it's a really nice bit of weight. Like I said, it weighs just over 1 troy ounce. Nice thickness to it. I just think it's a really interesting piece. You don't see pieces like this every day that have got kind of holes through them. And that's what I was going for. When I was gathering all this stuff together, when I was picking up my poured silver, I was trying to buy things that stood out to me, that were a little bit different, that you don't see every day. Next, we're going to move on to this chunk. Now, you've probably seen a similar bar to this that I've showcased on the channel a few times. I actually traded one of these bars, one of these pure 5-ounce bars with World Money Wins. We did a trade. I actually swapped it for one of his 5-ounce rounds that have the RIF tracker. Is it the RIF? Is that what it's called? It's got like a little tracker on there, the verifier, that you can verify using your phone. But yeah, this is one that I actually asked Pure to make up, and it's a personalised one. So it's exactly the same as the ones that he has on his website that are 5 ounces, except the ones on his website just have a big 5 on them. And I asked if he could do one that says 365, so it's a little bit more personal. And on the side he's still put on there 5 troy ounces, 3/9's fine. Really nice piece. Hasn't got any hallmarks or anything, but it's just a nice slab of silver. Look at that. Looks absolutely stunning. Really, really nice. Sometimes it's nice just to have a bit of basic poured silver as well in the stack. I know these fancy bits look really nice, but it is nice sometimes just to have a big solid bit of weight. And there's still a lot of work goes into this, just because it's kind of less detailed than something like this. There's still a lot of work that goes into something like this. You've got to polish it all down to get this nice mirrored finish. You've also obviously got to stamp it. You've got to file it all down, smooth it all off. So there's still a lot of work that go into even these kind of more standard looking pieces. And let me know in the comment section again, what is your favourite piece out of these 3 pieces that I'm showcasing today. But yeah, really nice, just chunk. Like I said, 5 ounces, nice solid bit of weight. So yeah, that is a really cool piece of silver. Last but not least, and this is probably one of my favourite pieces in my collection. This is an old school Game Boy, a really old school one of the really thick Game Boys. In my opinion, one of the best ones, one of the original ones. This says number 4. I can't remember the mintage on these. When I go through the COAs in another video, it might say the mintage on the COA that came with this, if it came with a COA. But I believe it was fairly low. It might have been like 100 of these or something like that were produced. But this is number 4, so a nice low number. And again, it looks really cool. So on this side, you've got almost like a standard looking bar, if you like. It doesn't really look anything out of the ordinary. But then when you turn it around, you've got the Game Boy design. So really, really cool piece. I like the fact that it almost looks like 2 pieces. You've got that side there that looks like a poured, like your regular kind of poured silver bars. And then when you flip it around, you've got this really cool design. But let's have a little closer look. So it's 2 troy ounces, 3/9's fine silver. It's from a mint called Rogue Island Mint. I really like how you've got all these barnacles, I believe Silversins calls it, where you've got these little bits of silver that stick up. Really nice. It feels really kind of rough texture in the hand, which is nice. And then, like I said, when you flip it over, you've got the classic Game Boy. You've got the speaker bit at the bottom. Is it the start and the select button? And then A and B, and obviously the up and down, left, right. But yeah, I just think that looks really, really cool. What a nice design. And again, because it's 2 ounces, it feels really heavy, really nice in the hand. Silver is a very dense metal. So although it's quite a small piece, it just feels really, really heavy. But yeah, really nice piece, and it looks more of like a vintage piece. And like I said, you are getting the best of both worlds here, because you look at it that way around, it looks like a nice bar in itself, just a nice kind of poured silver bar. And then when obviously you flip it round, you've got the Game Boy design there. So it looks like a completely different piece when you look at it from different angles. So again, really, really stunning pour. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And like I said, please let me know out of these 3 that I've showcased today, what is your favourite of the 3? And stay tuned, because like I said, we are working through my whole poured silver stack. So there's many, many pieces to showcase. I've even got another box, like that black box that I took these pieces out of. I've actually got another box with some really special poured silver pieces in. And I will be showcasing that also in a future video. So as always, thanks very much for all the support. Thank you very much for watching my videos, and I hope you all have a very nice day.